Okay, so one of my driving videos again. Last night I watched a video on autism. The difference between autism and Asperger's. And it, sorry, getting over a cold. It infuriated me a little bit because they specifically categorized autism and Asperger's. Very specifically categorized. Now, if you don't know, I have two kids that, one that was given an Asperger's diagnosis that I did not let them put on paper, and one that is on the autism spectrum, who is considered moderately high functioning. I consider him high functioning. He's extremely intelligent. He has hyperlexia, which means he reads well above his grade level. He reads nursing school books. He reads anything you'll give him, actually. Does really well in school. He's a smart kid. He's an actor. Picks up his lines really quick. He's really smart. But in this video, they explain that kids with Asperger's are of average to high intelligence, and children with common autism are of low intelligence, which I don't agree with, because my child has what's considered common autism, and he has very high intelligence. And my son with Asperger's is of average intelligence, and he has some areas of which he's high intelligence, but not across the board. Which is what this video was saying, that across the board, most people with Asperger's are across the board high intelligence. It also said that adults with Asperger's are very vocal and well-spoken, and that children with autism are non-vocal and not very well spoken. Again, both of my sons are very vocal and very well spoken. My son with autism acts. How can you act and not be vocal and well spoken? It also said that people with Asperger's are more social than people that have autism. My son with Asperger's is not a very social being. He is more of a hermit. He likes to be at home. He has specific friends. He can make friends, but he is more likely to make friends that are like him. Since he was not diagnosed, he was able to go into the military. So he will make friends with other veterans. He will maintain friendships from high school, even from elementary school. He is less likely to go out in public and make friends. He is less likely to go out in public, period. He is less likely to go out into social events. He is less likely to make new friends. My son with autism, while he is a little on the shy side, will make new friends. Will make those friends very quickly. Where they said those children with autism don't make friends at all. And they don't do well in social situations. Now again, my child with autism is an actor. He makes friends with other actors, with other children his age at school. He does suffer from being bullied, but he has made friends with the child that bullied him. That's a big step. He tends to make friends with adults or with other children who act. That may have to do with the fact that other children who act are more like him socially, because they make friends with other children who act. He is not socially on his age level, but he is fun and goofy, and that helps him make friends with kids that are his age and on his grade level. And as I said, he does tend to make friends with adults very easily, especially other actors. He is friends with actors that you would know. And I will not name drop because that's not appropriate. But he knows people that you see on TV quite frequently. And they are his friends. And he calls them his friends. And they call him their friend. He's very proud of his friends when he sees them on TV, and they're very proud when they see him on TV. So my children, and many children with autism and Asperger's, don't fit into the mold that people want to make for children with autism and Asperger's. You'll hear a lot of parents of children on the spectrum say, if you've met one child with Asperger's, you've met one child with Asperger's. If you've met one child with autism, you've met one child with autism. Because it's very true. Just because the literature says this is how children with on the spectrum present, it is a blanket statement. The reason that a rainbow is representative of autism is because it is a spectrum disorder. People that have autism and Asperger's is on the autism spectrum, people that have autism are all over the place on the spectrum. You don't meet one person and go, I know everything about autism. My sister is very different from my brother. My boys are very different from each other. My friends' children are very different from my kids. So don't think because you meet my children that you've met and you know everything about kids with autism. Don't think because you've met a child with autism that you know everything about autism. Educate yourself. Be willing to meet other people. Be willing to meet anybody with a disability. I make indie films as an actress, and I try to put people with disabilities into my films, whether they are background or have a speaking role or have something to do with the film. I think that's important because they want to live a normal life and they want to be actors and doctors and lawyers and teachers, and they want to do those things too. And sometimes the only way they get to do those things is to be an actor. So I try to give them that opportunity when I make a film, and I put them in my films to give them that opportunity. So think about that when you come across somebody who's differently able, and give them a chance. Get to know them as a person, because everybody that is differently abled, and I say differently abled other than disabled, because they are differently able. They do things differently than we do. If you're a typically abled person, you do things differently than I might do things. Nobody does the same thing the same way as everybody else. Differently abled people have to learn to live life differently than typically abled people. So take the time the next time you meet somebody who is differently able and get to know them and learn their story and learn something about them, and they might just change your life. Thought for the day.